Just a PS. In my chat with Mrs. Buzz, and I'm just going to put it up as a kind of here is the kind of lowdown on it all. I ended up by saying entirely sincerely, because this is where, it's communication. I ended up by saying to her, listen, even if you said you want to do something and then I didn't hear from you ever again, no longer. I am totally, I say to the bloody Serb, I'm bulletproof. This is what it means. It's kind of, I really have reached the point. I am not in any way going to take it to heart. I am not in any way going to even dwell on it. Oh well, that WhatsApp's no longer being looked at. We don't have any more blue ticks there. Oh well, another one bites the dust. However, the real cost, and I'm making this as a note to myself, but I've written this in various places over the years, the real cost is, I don't even have time to eat properly. There you go. I've had crackers and pesto, okay? Quite often, I've been in long periods where I have been putting my energy into, particularly the Titley Community Land Trust scheme, somewhere where categorically I wouldn't have wanted to live. I put about 300 hours into that over a few months, because once you go part the way, once you put it out there to one or two people, listen, I'm going to push for this, you've got to go all the way, because in that case, there were baddies who would hurt me, okay? The people who would lose a lot of money, land with planning permission for what would end up as 40 executive houses, it's worth a couple of million quid. If it's going to be some far lesser scheme with a few pauper houses, CLTs on the corner, that land, in fact, it's, I've forgotten, I've got to call them. I'm curious as to there's a plot being advertised or a chunk of it for $500,000. They lose out on money. So if you've started something, people start to talk. You've got to go all the way. So yes, a couple of months on that one, essentially successful. But don't even have enough time to eat properly. Bananas, and that's why I eat a lot of bananas, because bananas are quick, guaranteed grub. But the real cost is I didn't even have time to fix that. It's like, it looks horrible, but the hinges on these break all the time. So it's like the time and the energy that I've put into these things over the years, and I do consider it, though, I've had a payoff worthwhile to know the truth that unless there is literally, and I do not believe in a proper revolution, it would be dangerous in Britain. There are so many latently violent people, so many people really full of angst. But unless there's a partial revolution in the approach to the environment, environmentalism, being careful and also holding back and dealing with the building and the use of the countryside such that, or the environment, because that's what it is, the environment, such that there's the pressure on the environment from, and people will never talk about it, in the Wye Valley, and that area is the perfect example. It's like double the amount of people, and the equation is the amount of time people are at home, because a lot of people have come in from elsewhere who are home workers, your Zoom brigade, your arms brokers who today will be arms brokering weapons to Israel. They've colonized that area, so they're spending a lot more time in their bathroom, in their kitchen. I should imagine it's gone up roughly, it's about doubled in the last 17 or 18 years, when it suddenly it was all liberalized. The planning was liberalized. So that's happened, and at the same time you have not had the appropriate upgrading of the small or even personal sewage systems. So a lot more stuff is going into the river. Dealing with that is a massive, that requires almost a revolution. So these are the kinds of things that the young people, or those currently in it, they don't even want to talk about this. And revolution may be bringing in an understanding. You really are going to use far fewer than average products in your house if you're coming into these areas. By a city, it's nothing like as important, because it's cost effective to deal with a huge amount of chemicals and sewage going down into the drains. In the rural areas, which are the great majority of the country, it's far harder. So there we go. Revolution of sorts is going to be required.